Economics is not serene.
Doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
Honestly, it doesn't matter if it counts or not because it's not calm, it's not undisturbed. And what we came here to discuss today is the fact that we, and this is what Suad talked about today, was that we as the non-policy makers have to worry about economic theory. What is going on? How is it affecting it? Whether it's our pensions or health care, or what's going on with the stock market right now, and how are we looking at our retirement? Her speech today is her number 5 speech, which is Your Body Speaks. The purpose of Your Body Speaks is to talk about your stance, or use your stance, your movements, gestures, eye contact, to emphasize your point of your speech. It's also to collaborate with your speech and the material to ensure that you get that point across to your audience. They've got to work together to achieve the ends. Today, Suad came up here and she was confident, she moved the podium away, and she took control of this room. That is exactly what you're supposed to do with this speech. She used her movements, she used her gestures, she made eye contact, and she achieved the overall objectives of using your body to help emphasize your speech. One of the things I really liked about your speech, Suad, was that you used your voice and used inflection in addition to your movements to actually emphasize points as you went along. As you talked about capital, and then labor, and then productivity, you weave that into your presentation. And I thought that was very good and really got the point across to the audience and captivated them and brought us into what you're talking about. Because it's not an interesting subject. It's really kind of a dry subject overall for most of us non-economists. As you focused on that, though, I think one of the things that you came across was you kind of got lost in the process of when you got to the conclusion, you talked about one of the things that policymakers need to do is get out of the tactical realm or the field and start looking at the bigger policy decisions. And it kind of left me wondering, okay, the policymakers, or is it supposed to be me who's learning about economics and how capital and labor and productivity come together? So I kind of got a little bit lost in the process. And as you go back to the most difficult part of this project to me, which is how do you integrate the two together, you did a great job on one side, doing all the things you're supposed to do, gestures, eye contact, movements. And then a little bit needs to be looked at on, okay, did they actually bring it into the speech, and did the title and the speech actually work together with that? And I'm not sure if that exactly came across today as your speech. Overall, though, I think you absolutely hit the mark on getting people to think about where economic theory needs to go, what we need to focus on, which is, okay, do we have correct policies out there? And at the personal level, this is not a tactical decision. This is not something you can just let alone. You have to think about the bigger pictures, even when you don't feel like it pertains to you on a given moment.
Cameras report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Michelle, total time was 2 minutes and 58 seconds, and she qualifies. Rolf, 3 minutes and 21 seconds, and yes, he qualifies. And Glenn, 3 minutes and 1 second, and yes, he qualifies.
And we have a grammarian's report from Paul.
Already. I'm a grammarian and